Welcome back, everyone. This is another kind of just chill podcast with, you know, two Pokemon card businesses. We're just hanging out. I'm joined by Chris from APK Collectibles. We're just going to chat, answer some questions throughout the night. Chris, thanks for hanging out.
What's going on, bud? I missed you. Welcome back to the
Yeah,
internet.
I know. It's been so I started posting YouTube videos again, but I'm still haven't quite posted Instagram short form videos. But yeah, it's been weird. I just posted a YouTube video kind of describing like what the past 2-ish months have been like. But yeah, like there's pros and cons. Like pros is like I have time again. I the stress, the pressure of you know the day ins and day outs of like a side hustle that you're trying to manage and do something with. Um, but on the other side, it's like you know, like I'm not haven't been in it. I don't know what the heck's going on. Uh, you know,
Well, what you've been able to accomplish in a year is extraordinary, dude. Like you should be very proud of that.
I
Like
appreciate it.
some, as someone who doesn't like making content and struggles with it, probably the biggest weakness. Like you should be very proud of that. Even though whatever the followers turn into is another topic, but you know the engagement on Instagram can be short-minded, and you provide good information about what's coming out and what you need to provide, and that's awesome, man. You did a great job.
I mean, I appreciate it. Like it was a long it was a long year. So for context, I posted an Instagram reel every single day for an entire year. And then like May 18th hit of 2026, I hit a year, and it's like the next day I didn't post. like,
So, if you
but
don't mind me asking, what's your monetization like? Are you monetized by Instagram? Do they pay you on the reels and things like that?
this is gonna not be good for me to share.
And you don't have to answer. I'm
No, no,
just
no,
I'm just curious from
no.
someone who will probably never get there.
No, no, no. It's embarrassing because it's a weird bug with Facebook. Like I am monetized, but like there's like a weird bug where it's like it won't let me click the button to actually do it. Um, I remember I started getting monetized like sometime last year in 2025, and I remember like they were doing some sort of promo where if you posted an Instagram reel and then you also shared to like a Facebook uh, page, your
Bonus
Facebook
reels,
or
yeah.
whatever, yeah, it would do and you did it for 30 days, uh, you'd get like $40, and I did it, and it's like I still don't have access to that money because like it's just like it's blocked behind a stupid Facebook bug. I really need to reach out to someone about it.
Yeah, you do, because if like you have 27,000 followers, if you get 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 views, like that could be money in your pocket for sure, dude.
Right.
Like free collections to buy, free product. If however you want to treat it separately, just leave it there, build it up. Like everything helps, everything counts, man.
I know. I just need to get on it. Like that's something that I was frustrated by because I couldn't freaking do it, and then I just forgot about it. And you bringing that up, it's like, oh crap! like I should be doing that. Um, yeah, but anyways, we're here to talk about business. We're here to talk about the market, kind of what's going on. On your side, on my side. Tell us about your business. Like, give us the rundown for people that don't know. For those that are just hanging out, like, give us that.
So my business is definitely different from most people who are starting their Pokemon businesses from an online store or watching Brian at Pokini or watching Danny Phantom.
Yep.
I've been in the hobby since Pokemon Go.
Yep.
I was a collector. I bought, one or two booster boxes, ETBs. I put them on a shelf for 4 or 5 years. And then, when like Hidden Fates came out and I saw the pop and the come down, I was like, oh, this is kind of just like the stock market. And I work in the stock market. So,
Yep.
it has more of a beta. Like it moves much faster up and down. And then, over the years, you keep going and you start seeing more of the market. You see the ups and downs and the cycles. And then I found, RNG Games as a Jersey guy.
Yeah.
And I started, buying collections, grading cards, and selling bulk. That was the majority of what I did. And I used TCG Player. I have two TCG Player accounts. We manage about 40 to 50,000 in bulk cards, and
Right.
that's a part of our revenue that we bring in, right?
Yep.
And for a long time through those years, right, you could grade a card or make a
Yeah.
play, and things were very cheap. Like when
Oh,
151 came out and you graded a Charizard, it was like 200 bucks.
right.
So I would go out and pick up 10 of them. I'd go out and pick up 10 of them, send them to PSA for 250 and put them in a closet. And I did all this and built up a big collection into the boom, and I never thought, a guy would be doing this.
Sure.
And then I found out that you didn't need to open a store to be a Pokemon store. Like you just
Yeah.
needed a website, right? Like so information gathering, right?
Yep.
And in part of this was like, okay, if we're gonna do it, I'm over 40, right? If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it now. And
Yeah.
I'm at the point in my life where it's all separate from my life. Like I have my job,
Yeah.
and if anything goes wrong, it's good. Like, so we manage our risk, we manage our money. We don't ever plan to be gigantic, or I don't ever plan to be a monster company, right?
Yep.
And that's just kind of how I handle it, and I go about that process. So once you gain the information that, hey, you could start a website. And I was already an LLC. I became an LLC when they changed the eBay rules in 2021, where if you made
Oh,
more than
okay.
600. So I've been a company. And I was like, if I sell the collection, because it just kept going up the last like 18 months, I could probably get a distributor. And I was totally wrong. Even though I did get one, they don't care how much money you have. They don't care what you do. Like they don't need you at this point. And it's very, very tough to break into that space. So we
Right.
did acquire one, which was much faster than we thought, and we
Right.
are seeing small amounts of product come in. But
Dude.
I just got another case of Cookie Run today, and
Yeah.
Ginger Brave from Shrek, not the buttons, not my gumdrop
Buttons.
buttons. That guy,
Gotta
he's
do what you
he's
gotta
all over
do.
my storage unit, and so we're buying that to build spend because there's nothing in stock. There's nothing in stock
Right.
to buy.
Yeah, I know. Like, and that's sort of, I think we'll talk a lot about that tonight. A lot of your content on YouTube, at least as of late, is like, you are making so much progress more quickly than I think myself. You know,
I'm making progress everywhere except YouTube.
sure.
That is
I
for
mean,
sure.
there's pros and cons, right? Like,
Yeah.
but what I'll say is like there are other stores, and you mentioned Brian and Pokey who I think he definitely influenced me to do this, and like I know that I am not the only one, and I won't blame Brian, personally. Like there is just this stigma that like distribution is impossible to get, um, and you have managed to do it, in a speed run basically. And I know that
Yeah.
you've been doing this for like you've been a store for a couple years, or you've been in the hobby for a long time, but like talk about when you started, the online store, when you started making content, when you started to, you know,
So
try
when
this
yeah,
route.
so when when the market really started popping, I would say February, like Christmas of 2025, right? Or 2024, I'm sorry. And then
Yeah,
we went into like all the releases.
prismatic.
I think most people don't understand that the sets Pokemon made last year are out of this world.
Yeah,
Like even Journey Together, like
I
Journey
know.
Together, probably one of the best small sets Pokemon's ever made. Gets no respect. I've been buying it for the last year now. Nobody wants it. And everyone was so hyped with Prismatic. And the thing with the Pokemon hobby is you don't hear people talk about older sets and older things because people come in where they start.
Right.
So I started 2016. I really don't go past 2016,
Yep.
right? So I started, pretty much in like September, October, and I had a significant amount of inventory. Like I had a half a storage unit of a wall you couldn't see.
Yep.
And I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't know I was supposed to show it. Like I think
Right.
it's cringy to show it. Like.
Yeah.
So I just started
Don't hide this
offloading
away.
it.
Don't let anyone
And I
see it.
started offloading it through eBay, offloading it through vendors,
Yep.
offloading it, when you buy a box for $100 and it goes to 500, you're like, okay, I'll
Yeah.
take 450. Here's 12 of
Yeah.
them,
Right.
you know? So, I built up my war chest. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
I think now that I'm into the next decade and I'm 9, 10 years in, if I, have my LLC, all I have to do is build a website and show the distributors money. I think I can get my foot in the door. Like that was the plan, right? And that quickly turned into that wasn't the case. So I started calling them and I started introducing myself around New Jersey because I really just lived in this room. I really just went to work, raised my kids, and this was my outlet. Like it was my thing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have any friends in the hobby. My uncle thinks I'm weird. My mom
Yep.
thought I was stupid.
Yep.
And they still won't admit that we were right, that I was right, that it went up. Like they still won't admit it. They're just like you
No,
got
of course
lucky,
not.
right?
Yeah. A
And
little freak, like,
so
over there.
I was like, okay, well, Brian has sales and followers, and you need something. And I was like, well, I have money now because I sold a very large collection. I'm over 40. I max out my 401k. I'm in a better place, right? There are things I can do that like Rudy talks about,
Yep.
borrow at low interest rates that I think I can show them. And that was quickly not the case. And I started going around the shows in Jersey and people laughed at me. Like they were like the stores laughed at me. And as soon as that happened, I just flipped a switch. Like
Yeah. There's something in my brain.
if you tell me that I can't do something, I'm gonna shove it down your throat. Like I was so angry. So, I did get in touch with, and I will give some information on the distributors. I have said them in my videos, but nobody watched. There is a list on the Pokemon Center that people
Yep.
can get to. I've only spoken to 3. The rest of them will not even pick up the phone. And my wife was actually saying that the calls are really funny because I still call them and I talk to people. She's like, you should record the calls and put them on Instagram because they're hysterical. Like, I won't give them my name. And I'm like, I'm super rich and I have a lot of money and I want to give it to you.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't want your money. I'm like, but I want to give it to you. I want to buy Cookie Run from you
They're like,
and I want to
what the
buy,
hell?
top loaders. And they're like, we're not onboarding new clients. Try back next year. Like, it's really funny because I put them on speaker. Maybe I'll do that.
No, you
But
should. That's
I
content,
so
man.
there's one distributor that said call back next year. There's another distributor who I still talk to once in a while. He reaches out, but I don't want to go in and buy all the shit I'm already buying
Yeah.
because that money can be used to buy collections, to buy other products. I'm already buying all the shit and getting very little product, so it doesn't make sense from a standpoint to do it twice.
Right.
You know?
And like, for those that haven't caught on, it's like Chris was able to get into distribution very quickly. He's been doing this for, I don't know how many months at this point. Building up spend
Yes.
slow and steady. Like that's the formula, guys. Like,
So I would say 3 months in, we had about 500 YouTube followers, and just going off my YouTube followers, 700 are from shorts. So nobody watches the long form content. I just had like a couple of how-to videos go like viral. So it looks like, but like nobody watches the videos. I got to fix that. But
I mean,
so I basically got in touch with somebody and I was like, listen, can I have a conversation with somebody? Like nobody wants to even talk to people. And he basically said the people calling are animals. Like they're like,
yeah,
I do all this sales on whatnot. I do this. And I'm like,
yep,
listen, I've been in the hobby for 10 years. I have 5 years of tax returns since 2021. We did over 100,000 last year. I have 200 cards at PSA. I sell bulk.
yep,
This is my balance sheet. This is my inventory. They were like, we will onboard you because you're a normal human being and thank you for being professional. But you're not going to get any Pokemon cards.
there it is.
And I was just like, well, the people at the show told me I wouldn't get distribution. So I'm going to get the Pokemon cards. And I literally went on their website. I went on their website. and I saw that Pokemon was available. And I'm like, I call my rep and I'm like, I thought you said I couldn't get Pokemon cards. He's like, well, you're a store, so you have access to it. I'm like, oh, so I'm in.
Right.
Like I'm in. He's like, you're in, but you're not going to get any. And I'm like, I'm going to put an order in for $3,000 right now. I'm going
Yeah.
to buy all your top loaders, all your, because I sell bulk, right? So I ordered
Yeah.
a lot of sleeves, like Pokemon sleeves, and I use them for bulk orders so I can use them for something. And then, I went on the next month and I start selling them on eBay. And once the money comes in, I add like 500 a month and I keep rotating the money in.
Yep.
So then he calls me probably like in February, like 3 months later. He's like, I got a box of perfect order and a booster box coming for you. And I went ballistic. I was
Yeah.
like,
It's like
I went ballistic. And it was such a good feeling. And like, I really haven't replicated that feeling. Like once you get the orders on your website start coming in and you have like a small win, you really don't appreciate it anymore. Like
yeah.
you move on to like the next thing or you get discouraged if something goes wrong, you know. So when I got my 30th allocations yesterday and I got my pitch black, I got 4 ETBs, 4 booster boxes and 8 bundles. When I get my first case, I may throw it out the window. Like I may
Yeah.
just like bury it. Like, so we're gonna be getting like 50 to 60 total products of the 30th. And I don't know what the plan is. Like, we're gonna get 5 ETBs. I don't know if I'm gonna crack some open, take out a lot of inventory and bundle it with 30th free packs.
Sure.
I don't know if I'm gonna
Yeah.
like I have like 10 or 11 dudes who spend a lot of money with me.
Yeah.
I might just call them and be like, hey, 15% below market. This is a thank you for spending 5-6 grand with me. Like,
Yeah.
15-20% below market. Because what are you gonna do with 5 ETBs or something like that?
Right.
So I don't know what I'm gonna do with the product, but we're in a kind of a lull for the next like 6 weeks. I'm skipping Storm Emeralda for my store. I refuse to pay those prices.
Fair enough.
No one's gonna buy it for $220 a box from me. I don't think I have the market. And we have a pod in my driveway. We're redoing this whole room. I'm going to put an eBay scanner back here. I'm going to fix all this
Oh,
up
sick.
because we're growing and we need to fix stuff. And we're going to re-sheetrock the garage and, make some more room for things. So the next like 6 weeks, we're going to be in like a kind of like a lull.
I mean, it will. I think it is kind of perfect timing, just because it's like you got your pitch
Yeah.
black, orders in. You just got your allocation for 30th anniversary. We're not gonna be seeing any real other Pokemon movement outside of the Storm Emeralda Japanese release that's in like 2 weeks. And it's
Yeah.
like I made a whole video about that, and it's like it's crazy. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's perfect time, man. Like, oh man, there's so many avenues you want to go down. Do you have anywhere that you want to take this chat?
No, I just kind of I wanted to ask you how your collection buying is going because mine is not still not great. Like I'm still, I buy it 70%. And the reason I buy it 70% across the board is because if I sell it on eBay, I need that 15% hook.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get stuck with it.
Right.
And we
Exactly.
just haven't been to a point where the people are angry. Like they're like, if they can't sell it, they'll still tell you to go F yourself or like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, you don't have to buy it. Like, how's your collection buying going? Because it's honestly something I haven't even dealt with in the last like I bought 3 last week, but they were small, maybe like 4,000 total, from people I knew who were leaving the hobby. Like, there's not much going on. Like, how's your collection buying, and what's
Sure.
your process for English?
Sure. Yeah. So the process for English, and sort of really, I think the birth of success with the business was monthly English drops. And what I would do is I would buy out collections. I'd go on Facebook Marketplace. Like, that was where I spent a majority of my time with the business, at least in the early days. I say early days, like, I always preface this, and I think I'm just gonna like concretely say the business has been a thing for like 2 years at this point. I say
Mhm.
that in a weird way because like the first like 8 months, I think I sold like two orders, and so it's like the first 8 months were like a wash.
It's
But
crazy, right? Because I went on to other stores and I'm like, wow, no, I have the lowest prices. Nobody cares. They don't know who I am. Like, you just you know what's going on.
right, and so it's like I'm now just sort of accepting like 2 years as a business. Things didn't really take off until literally about a year ago. I had my first English drop on July 4th of 2025, and that was sort of how I kickstarted, you know, the brand, the interest, the trust, like all of that with my customers was like, you can count on Zippy's Card Corner at least for the first 5 6 months of it. Like I had a monthly English drop that was like it kept getting bigger and bigger, and it was cool and it was fun. I stopped doing that sort of like in December because I realized that it was costing too much of my time and effort
Mm-hmm.
with very little payoff at this point. And it was at this point where I was also sort of leaning more heavily into international stuff. Like I was recognizing that there were a lot of people and customers that wanted to come to me for Japanese, for simplified Chinese and things like that. And so I was like, you know what? Let's take a break. Let's look at international, see where that goes. And took a pause on them. Kind of wanted to try and restart it back in like, March, I think is when the next one was. But anyways, like I haven't. So I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but I've been out of the
Oh,
game
you're
for
good.
like a month and a half,
Yeah.
and I had just had a talk with someone about buying their collection before like life got busy, and then I just kind of ghosted not just them but like everyone. And so, but I'll tell you what my thought process was with this collection, and sort of what the previous collection that I had bought and how it performed, just how it overall did. There are fewer and farther there there are fewer and farther people that are not, how do I say this? The product is not super desirable, is what I'll say.
Ancillary
And
product.
ancillary product,
Mhm.
exactly. And I think like the people that I've bought from are not super big investors that are looking to offload
Right.
huge, awesome, cool things. It's like, the people that have been saving up product, here and there. And I don't say this to be mean or, bash on them for how they're doing their thing, but like they're just taking what they can and just storing it away and
Right.
thinking that this is going to be the thing that, goes
Right.
to $1 million.
Yeah.
And
They don't
so,
understand the market.
right. That being said, though, like I'm not into the buying of the collections right now. Like unless something comes to me and it's having not been in the game and not making content, like people forget about you. And so
Yeah.
without having made content over the past month and a half, like I have a couple people that have reached out and checked in, and that's super. It's honestly sweet, but like a lot of people that I've there were more people that were willing to look at doing a collection trade or sale before sort of my hiatus, and so I'm not getting as many people that are wanting it. Those that have the items, I'm not super duper in love with. And if I'm just being completely honest, like I still I still have things from a collection that I bought that just haven't moved,
Right.
and it's like
Yeah.
I just you know I would rather not spend my capital on English product that I know is not going to sell as well than if I were to just strategically hold and wait for opportunities like the next Japanese pre-order or the next simplified Chinese set that's going to be cool, or I've talked about it in some other videos, shared it with you. It's like I have a wholesale supplier that I've kind of
Mhm.
partnered up with, and they sometimes have really good deals on some English product that I know will move. And so I'd rather just put money towards those opportunities than have riskier bets, honestly, trying to get collections that I know are
Right.
not going to be as fruitful as they had been like last year. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's how that's going.
See, I kind of look at everything all the time based on like what we know and what the information is over the decade, right? Because you know, I used to buy cases from Ryan, literal cases of Japanese product for $600.
It's I know.
Like, you know, I was looking at my prismatic evolutions purchases, not my prismatic, my the
Terrestrial,
Japanese equivalent of it, terrestrial.
terrestrial.
I bought 2 cases from him and they were like 64.99 a box, like when it released.
Yeah,
Like, so I just offloaded those to a business, a vendor. But, I make up for the lack of content and the thing you're talking about, like the buying collections. Like if I buy a collection, it goes to eBay, marked up 15% over my website to make up for fees.
yep,
It goes to the website, it goes to Facebook Marketplace, it goes vending,
yep,
and I move it. And I make up for not having content by moving product multiple ways. So
yeah,
we vend, like I'll vend now once. I do the same show once every 6 weeks. Full disclosure, the last 3 shows we did, I did like 22,000 total.
cool.
Moving old cases, like, because again, so how I'm operating this is again from every angle of every hedge. When people pay cash to me at the show, I get cursed at because I ask them I ask them to fill out ST3 forms for my
Oh,
website
dude. Yeah.
because I have to deposit cash. The people vending are not real businesses.
Yep.
They're shuffling money everywhere. They're washing money. They're vending. And again, I need to operate that if I'm going to buy a slab
Yeah.
for, and I'll give you an example of this. If I'm going to buy a slab for $1,000 and it goes to 750, I need to buy that slab again. And if it goes to 500, I need to buy it 3 more times.
Yep.
If I can't do that, I won't take in the product. So what I
Sure.
normally do is I have a few vendors there that I know, and people want to trade in their slabs for the sealed. I take it into 80% and I immediately sell it to the vendor for 80% cash and get rid of the slab and take into
Yep.
the cash back in. So again, and then by going around, then you have a lot of cash because if everyone's paying cash and you don't have forms on file, you can't deposit that cash back into the bank. Right? So like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
last week or 2 weeks ago, we sold a case of Mega Evolution. There's a gentleman who has a vending machine company, and I've made a good relationship with him. So he
Sure.
will call me for cases, and he gave me cash, so I can deposit that cash as tax free, tax exempt, and send it back to Japan to get more product.
Yeah.
So I'm operating in this whole different place from a lot of different angles where like, again, like your relationship, I've reached out to a lot of people and they don't answer. Like, maybe I get a call from the distributor and he has 10 cases available. Maybe I want to offload them to people who have, businesses, right? At smaller markups to move more product to be like a small
Right.
wholesaler.
Yeah.
I'm really
Exactly.
positioning myself for up, down, and in between, and while the content doesn't show, everything is going really well. Like,
And that's where it's like, it's
the content's the
crazy.
same. It's all the same. Like it's
And
so repetitive, I can't wrap my head around it. Like I think I have that what do they call it? Like when you overthink it and you don't make the content. Like I should just go on there and
analysis
be like, I'm a
paralysis
Pokemon
kind of
store and
thing.
I'm still buying product. Yeah, like you're a Pokemon store. Of course you're buying product when it's
Yeah.
low. You buy low and you sell high.
Yeah. I buy high and sell low. It's like that
Yeah.
is your content. Yeah.
And
It.
and the thing that you're doing, and like, I know Brian started with Japanese, and that's like his pitch. And I will say something about Brian in a second. Um, but when the market collapses, like when the markets go down, Japanese and Chinese implode.
Yes. Yes.
Like, like so, and I would love that. I would love to buy a
Yeah.
case for $400 or $800, right?
Right.
But like Brian has built this empire. And, if Zippy's Card Corner and APK Collectibles fail, Zippy's Dog Corner and PKC Collectibles are going to come start their store and they're going to watch Brian's videos. So, part of that is the 50% fail rate for entrepreneurs. So I don't take it as serious because until there's enough product to become a real business
Yeah.
and it's all getting sliced so thin, you really have to outwork and find ways to do it.
So talk a little bit more about that. Like, how do you think we're close to that? Do you think that that is a possibility over the next year, 2 years, 3 years?
Well,
Like,
I again, like when I listen to people on YouTube, I don't feel the same as everyone, especially since I see the distribution coming in now.
yeah,
If I can get a booster box for 100 and sell it for 200, that's not a bear market.
right,
Like that,
right.
like people are like, the reason distribution is so important, and it never was, remember, it never was before a few years ago, because I would just buy booster boxes for $100 all day long for years. Like it was always $100, well
Yeah.
below MSRP. And the reason it's important is that I don't want to go to Target, or I don't want to go to
Oh,
the Sam's Club drop and possibly get stabbed,
brother, you and me both.
to do it, because if they get the pitch black box for 60 and it's selling for 80 on eBay, they're not making any money.
I know.
Not every set is Ascended Heroes. Not every set is Prismatic Evolutions. So when Pokemon has these releases come out, this Chaos Rising, Perfect Order, Pitch Black, I'm kind of sad the 30th is coming. I wish we had another set like that and just
I
collapse it.
know. I know.
But when you can get the box at our cost or my cost, right, as a store, $34.99 with shipping and taxes. Well, that box of Evolving Skies right there, that's got to go, because that's 10 cases of the next set.
Yeah.
That's where we want to be, right? That's where you want to get to. Like that Final Fantasy box right next to it, that's another 5 cases.
Yeah.
That's $5,000 in paper money sitting on that shelf, and that's 8 cases of booster boxes. Like that, you see my face light up, right? Because
Yeah.
I always walked into stores and bought $100 booster boxes, or Paradox Rift cases were like $540
Yeah.
for like a case. Like, so I still can't wrap my head around it, because even when I'm vending, everyone is a business. Every single person, like most of the people are whatnot businesses, TikTok businesses, vendor businesses, and they're so competitive. Like everyone is like, what's the best you can do? And I'm just like, I'm firm on price. Like I don't need to sell it anymore. Like I'm in a place now where I don't need to do anything. Like that's my situation. And I see all these stores popping up. Like, I don't know your situation altogether, right? But, if another person pops up and they just think they're going to get distribution and they're starting an online store and it's that easy, well, what did you do for the last 8 years? Do you have a balance sheet? Are you prepared for a collapse? Are you prepared for an up market? Like there's all these different things that go through my brain that I've planned for, that on the business side, right? That
Yep.
I see all these companies and I'm like, I saw a guy the other day. You got to look him up. Jed's Card Shop. He's like, he has distribution. He has 52 followers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I really like waited all this time, and I want to be able to buy the thing if they call, so I don't really get it all the time. But
I mean,
business wise, we operate a little differently. I still got 100 cards at PSA waiting for all those to come back. And it's a different time. That's all it is. And when it corrects, we're going to see, all the people I'm talking to that are giving me their paperwork that say they want product. If they can't move it, we're going to see if they still want it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's like, man, there are some businesses that I know and, talk to on the side, like they make zero content and they are seeing huge success.
Lost
and you lost me.
You're back. I found you.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
All right, can we hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Uh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Anyways, sorry, my headphones were dying and I needed to get something, get another pair. But what I was saying was like, it's wild to see the different types of businesses and how they've found success. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like Brian, you know, Brian really did a number on me and a bunch of other people I know, and like in terms of like what he suggested everyone do, and it's like I followed his blueprint to the T, um, and there's just like it's worked out, um,
Yep.
but it's also just wild to see people take a different route and find success in different ways. Um, Yeah, no, and it's definitely like I'll be honest, like it's definitely been a just a an opportunity to reflect on that the past month and a
Yeah.
half of like, man, I've spent so much time making content, and like, and I've said this in other videos, like probably the last like 3 months of me doing it, I was kind of just like going through the motions. Like my follower count wasn't going up nearly as much as rapidly as it had in the first like 8 months of me doing it. And I could tell that like I wasn't really in it. And I just like I almost regret just not stopping like 3-4 months ago instead of like riding it out to the year. Just because like I've seen other businesses make find success in other ways, and it's like should I have just taken the time to try out other avenues of finding success.
You could still do that. You could still do
I still
that,
can.
man. Like,
I still can. It's
again, it's a different time. Like, you can't grade cards like I was doing. You can't go and grade 25 of the same card for $25 anymore, and put them away in your closet. Like, there's a lot of things you can't do now. But bulk is the thing, dude. Like, and
dude.
I'll
I want to
tell
talk
you,
to you about bulk.
it, it's free. It's free money. The rip and shippers, the people who opening are only looking for hits. And like just today, I cleared $54 on TCG Player. That's 3 Japanese booster boxes on my website. So that $54 is going to be another box of Cookie Run at the distributor, and we just
Oh
we
boy.
just keep we're just wiping out Cookie Run right now. We're
Are
wiping it
you
out.
are you selling the cookie run, or are you putting it all in
No,
storage?
I'm not selling any of the Cookie Run. Fucking Ginger Brave. I call him Gingy from Shrek. That's what I call him. He's a
Yeah.
gingerbread man. We're not selling. I sold some decks actually on eBay.
Oh
But again,
really?
like, so that's the thing too, is like, I started looking at the same thing you said, right? Like, I'm like, okay, well, I've been watching these guys, and then I found Rudy in
Yep.
when Lord of the Rings went to Magic. I started with Magic, and that's where I found Rudy. I never
Yep.
watched YouTube. I literally lived in this world by myself. Like,
Sure.
and I did nothing, and I was consistent.
Yeah.
And then I found Rudy, and then I didn't find Brian until we couldn't find Pokemon cards
Yeah.
in Christmas of like 2024, because I was like, who's this
Okay.
guy? Like, why would I ever
Sure.
find Brian at Pokey&E, right? And I was like, oh, well, he has an online store. And then, I found Dan. So like I pull from the things I like, and I spit out the things I don't.
Sure.
So I bought a collection a couple months ago, and I consigned it to a company. I won't say who. It wasn't Dan, but
Sure.
I bought a collection for like $800, and I consigned it, and I got $220 out of it. I got 1080 out of it. So by the time
Huh.
it got to the consigner, it went up in value.
Yep.
And I didn't do anything. I just bought the collection and sent it in. So there's all these different ways to make money that you can do. And I kind of pull from all the little things. And honestly, if I'm going to make a video and nobody's going to watch it, and I could put 2,000 bulk cards on TCG
Yeah.
Player in an hour, I'm going to produce and work while I get better at my weaknesses, because this room is not built, it echoes. I'm not great with the editing. My average watch time on long form videos is like 3 minutes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? Like, I got to reverse engineer and fix this. But even if you get one person to the website, I rebuilt the
Right.
website a couple months ago, and we've doubled in sales since then. Like, I only do like anywhere from 2 to 6 thousand a month on the website. It's not crazy,
Yeah.
but Facebook Marketplace, Amazon, eBay, TCG Player, when you bring it all in together, and you're an online store, and you can just keep building, like it works, and you can do that. Like, you can do these other little things to to bring in free revenue. Like, it's bulk is free money, and my floor price is 15 to 20 cents. I pay a penny for them.
Yeah.
So if somebody buys 5 cards after shipping, that 5 cents turns into 80 cents. It's not going to
Right.
change your life, but you do that. I've done
Enough times.
1100 orders this year across the accounts. Like, it's a lot of work to come home from work, do the
Oh
eBay
yeah.
orders, do the TCG Player orders, and then by the time I make the content, I'm a zombie, right? So, like,
I
the,
don't
the
blame you.
content's not good because I'm not in the mood to do it. And I'm like, well, I just sold a slab on eBay, so I'm just gonna go to sleep now.
Yeah, why not? I mean,
You
and
know.
that's where it's like, it's different hustle. Like, it is mind blowing. Like, all the different ways that I see people try and
Mm-hmm.
move their product, and it's like, part of me, for a long time, um, I was, again, I'm a victim of watching too much Pokey and E Brian videos. Um, online store, online store, online store, online store. You have your own brand that is yours. Don't do anything else. Like, I was doing that for, and like the online store is
I'm
still.
all against that. I'm
I
all
know,
against
I
that. Like,
know, and it like.
I got the allocation last week, so I'll just share this story. Um, I had 4 ETBs of Pitch Black. I put them up for $79.99. We sold 2, and then somebody sent me a nasty message on Instagram. That I was a scalping piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
Like these
Okay.
guys do. Did you know
Yep.
what? I was sitting at the beach with my family. I put them on eBay. They sold in 5 minutes. 5 minutes for
Yeah, man.
$83.99 or something. Like, the distributor doesn't care how you move the product. If you go online, right? Like, like, especially if you want to get a lot of product. Do you watch Anon
Yeah.
TCG?
Yep.
Okay. So Anon has a big Play Store. It seems like, he's all over TCG Player. He has a warehouse, right? Like, you think that he's getting thousands of boxes and just moving them to regular customers. Like, those websites bring millions of people to you. I
I know.
have people. This happened today. I have Secrets of Strixhaven on my eBay store, and it's a repeat buyer from last week who bought some Bloomborough from me. And I put in a card and I circled it and I said shop on website, and he repeat bought on eBay. Like, you
I
shop
mean,
on the website.
yeah, I
You shop
know.
on the
I know.
website. You don't pay sales tax outside New Jersey. You get free shipping. You save money. They still shop on eBay. They don't
I
care.
know. I know. And that is sort of where I've tried to trend to. I don't have this down, and I need to freaking get it down. I It is a pain to upload product to eBay. It is a pain to upload product to TCG Player. I don't think I'm doing it right. But like,
You just take
how
a
do you do it?
picture. What do you mean? You just take a picture of it.
I know. Okay. Okay. Tell me your eBay, like. So maybe it's a little different, right? You have how many sales on eBay do you have?
Like, close to 5,000 products sold.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit more, just a little bit more trustworthiness, influence. I think I have 28 feedbacks.
You're still good. You're still good. You're
Right,
perfect.
right. But my point is, like, is there any sort of strategy that you are doing when you are
No. So
listing
the thing with
product?
eBay also works on an algorithm. The more you post, the more they'll send it to people. That's one. absolutely sure. Like when I stop posting, my impressions go down by the hundreds of thousands.
Okay.
They want you to post product because every product they post, they take a fee from it. So they're going to
Sure.
encourage people like the bulk sellers who have these like who are doing like 10 grand a month, 11 grand a month. Like they get millions of impressions, like RNG games, right?
Yeah.
They encourage you to so it works on an algorithm. And then my thing is like the Japanese product is effed because it's all fake.
Yeah.
So I took all my Japanese product down. If you're gonna buy, you buy from Trustero. So like there are stores that try to buy it cheaper than Japan and sell fake product. Like I know what's going on. It's really bad.
Yeah, I know. It's not good.
But again, like if I buy a collection, like let's say I buy a boost, an ETB for 100, right? My website it's going to be 120, but on eBay it's going to be 139.99. And honestly, it sells on eBay before it'll sell on my website because the people who shop on the website, they don't want temporal forces. My sales data is when there's a good set, they will come in for that 5% below market and wipe me out to Destin Rivals, Prismatic, 151, that other shit, it sits. Like, and, I don't know why, but it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but it sits. It does.
Like, I've had Twilight ETB, Twilight Masquerade ETBs, Surgeon Spark ETBs. Like, I've had them on my site for like 8 months at this point. And
honestly, mark them up on eBay, $15. Put them on eBay. They'll sell in a week.
And that's fucked, dude. Like,
why?
That sucks.
Why?
Like,
why?
It just.
Listen, like that's the cost. Like again, like I honestly, it goes through my head every day before I make a video. I don't need to show up on YouTube anymore. If I keep growing my allocation, nobody needs to know. I get it and I sell it on eBay. Nobody would care. Nobody would know. They would just think I was just a normal person. The system dictates that you need to have an LLC and a website. That's all it dictates to get a distributor. You don't actually have to use the website. You could be a shit. Like my website was shit. And I was like, and I didn't know how to build it. It was total shit before I rebuilt it. I spent like 2 days with my brother and we were rebuilding it. And I think it came out really good, by the way. It looks good now, but
it was solid.
Built like a fucking cartoon character. And the distributor was like, "You have a website? You got money? You're in." I was like, "Okay, that's perfect."
So okay, tell me how you split up TCG Player and eBay product that you're putting up online.
So
is TCG Player just bulk that you put?
Yeah. So now that I am getting a little bit more products, so I have been trying to buy other products from my distributor because we're a TCG company. Like part of the issue my followers have is I operate in the TCG marketplace, and I feel that there are opportunities everywhere. Like so. Full disclosure, for the last 6 weeks, I've been buying the shit out of Riftbound. Like that's what I've been buying. I've been buying a lot of Riftbound cases. Yep. I haven't been buying any Pokemon because I'd rather buy Riftbound. Riftbound is a serious IP. It has millions of gamers. It has millions of followers. The people love it. And like, I'm a collector at heart. So like if I wasn't a store, and sometimes I wish I wasn't anymore, I would have a hot toy, like the Jinx hot toy from Arcane. I put in a sealed booster box and a PSA 10 and make a little shelf. Like that's what I did for years. Like, like my fandoms. Right. And, people, those one-off people love to do that. And it brings in all these people like Lorcana is bringing in all these Disney people. Yes. So I try to, look where the opportunity is at all times. Because the money has to get put to work if the distributor is not going to do it. And I'm terrified of the Japanese card market. I don't want to sell it all the time. I just carry a little bit of it to offer. Because if it ever crashes, like I'm saying, if it ever crashes, Japanese market will go to $50 to $60, and anyone holding those products is going to go down.
I mean, yeah, I agree. And that's why it's like, I'm not I've become very careful about what it is that I hold on to with Japanese and
Yeah.
what I am getting the heck out of off my shelves. Um, yeah, I mean like yeah, man. Do I just need to do more eBay? I know I do. That's you don't need to answer that. I know.
Uh, do you know, again, it's a system, right? Like I have Surging Sparks cases, Twilight cases, Twilight Journey, never sell on my website, never sold a box. Uh, I I put Journey together up on eBay, it sold in a day. Like, it depends on what your situation is, and if you need to sell that product. Like, I don't need to sell any product. I want to sell a product because I want to get more Pokemon at the horse's mouth. But, if my allocation is going up 1 ETB per set, I'm not going to get a case for 3 years.
Right.
And plus, it's a very different market because, the guys, like I've learned from all these guys, like I said, like Rudy, like don't put in for what you can't afford to get.
Yeah.
Like right now with my distributor, full disclosure, I have $100,000 in open Pokemon orders
Yeah.
because I put in for 25,000 of every set, 30,000
Right.
of every set,
Yep.
and they ship me 4 boxes. But
Right.
if I'm not eligible for wave 2s, but so I won't get them. But if they call me and they ship it, I got to take it.
Yep.
Right? So don't put in for what you can't afford. We know that. So now that you have the distributor account, don't get blacklisted. There's all these things that YouTube has taught us that I've just fast tracked the mistakes. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that he did this. Now I know Brian explained Nexus. I didn't know what Nexus was.
I know.
If I ever grow, I got to hire somebody for Nexus. Like, you just write down the mistakes that they made and you just fast track it and get ahead of it. And it can fast track you to understanding it. So, as far as the distributor goes, they have other products I am eligible to get. So I did get 2 cases of the last Holo Live set.
Yep.
I did get cases of Caillou. I've been getting them. They've been sending to me My Little Pony,
Yep.
K-pop Demon Hunters. I got a case of Godzilla, which I literally just put in storage just to build spend. And I don't know if the other stores or the newer stores want to do that. I might have an advantage by buying. I probably have spent between 5 and 10,000 on other TCGs with them.
Yeah.
And I'll lose money on the cookie run every time when somebody buys it or it just sits in storage.
Yeah. Oh, cookie run, man. I know.
There was another TCG up on the website, and it was called Vibes.
Yes.
And it was like $97.99 a box. And I didn't buy it. I was like, I'm buying enough of the other stuff. Like, I'm not going to buy it. But I saw DJ's Poke Center. He said he bought half a pallet from his distributor. So I was laughing. I'm like, so he's buying the Vibes. I'm buying the cookie run.
Someone's got
other people are buying whatever they're buying. It's you got to do what you got to do. You got to play the game. So that's the game. And again, like that money that I spent with them, we haven't shown a profit this year. It's all going into long-term inventory and to the distributor, like every dollar,
Yep.
So that money could have bought tons of collections at 70%, could have bought sealed product to churn higher on the store. I just really want to fast track it for the impending collapse if it ever happens.
Yes.
But I don't think it will. I think that these guys have made so much money. If you're getting 1,000 booster boxes and you're making $100,000 a set, when the market crashes, they're going to have the first crack to buy as much as they want. That goes for the big stores we know and the tons of big stores we don't know. Because anyone who's getting thousands of boxes has made life-changing money the last 2 years alone.
So speaking of just the Pokemon market, do you see a crash? Like in terms of
part of the
general...
problem I have on the crashes is that I stay very consistent in the marketplace. Like I buy every set.
Right, regardless of whether we're on a high or a low.
I'll invest in every set. Like I don't get involved with any of that because everything average in my experience of life, everything averages out to the mean usually, right? If you make
Yep.
100% and the average return is 7, you're probably going to lose 70 along the way.
Yeah. Right.
And you have to understand that you still made 23.
Yep.
People don't understand. Remember, I worked there, right? So I've
Right.
seen these bad things happen, and there's a lot of people making money now, but the money was really made when it came up into 2024,
Yes.
right? Like,
Yeah.
like that's where, when a product can be $100 to $200 and show no growth for years, it eventually averages out to the mean, and the beta can go straight up like this because it was so flat for so long.
Right.
And you're seeing that with Magic collector boxes, like Rudy said it the other day, right? That, everyone, it's not that they're worth this. They were never worth the shit that they were. And by me buying a lot of those, like I have like 27 or 28 of them in the storage unit, now those are going up. So I don't worry about the Pokemon market, right? Like I'm diversified.
Yeah. It's diversification is sort of
Into the
TLDR.
TCGs, into the other TCGs. And I'm surprised how much money is actually here because my history in the TCG marketplace is 99% Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. Like for a long time it was Magic,
Dude,
Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know.
That's
Like,
you know,
and that's what I knew too. But it's like people buy Cookie Run. They do. They don't.
They don't buy it from me.
They don't buy it from you. They don't buy it from me.
My price
but they
is
do
well,
buy
go
it.
shop APK Collectibles and buy some Cookie Run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, man. So we're kind of in the general perception is we're in sort of this summer slowdown.
Yeah.
What are you preparing for? You said you're buying a lot of Riftbound.
Yeah, so I've been buying Riftbound, and another thing that I do again to make up for the content is I have built multiple relationships with LGSs in the tri-state area.
Yeah.
So I think I have 8 of them on file with me that I have my forms on file with them to buy tax-free product.
Yep.
And if they need me to take product, they give me, sometimes they throw me Pokemon, right? So last year, I took a case of Tarkir Dragonstorm from one, and I took a case of Aether Drift Play boxes. And then I was given, I was able to buy from him a case of Journey Together Pokemon for $20 a box. So I've built a lot of these relationships with the LGSs. So I kind of going a different way. So they called me, one of them called me last week. I bought a case of an ETB of Perfect Order for $620 and a case of Chaos Rising for $625.
Yep.
So undercapitalized LGSs who have employees, who have rent, who are opening stores that don't get any product, they need to move it very fast. They need the money, and they will call me. And it's starting to show. So that showing in an LGS that is undercapitalized, that isn't getting enough product, because if you're brick and mortar in your new store, you have to build, spend. And, it's tough because you got to pay rent, you got to pay utilities, you got to do these things. And I'm comfortable building that relationship, and again, like he called me, I was like, hey, listen, can I get a Hobbit box from you? Is that okay? He's like, if you're going to take this, I'll give you the box for like $575. So like market on the Hobbit Magic box, the collector box is like $700.
Yep.
So again, like I'll get these little deals for my collection or for my inventory, for my business, because I'm taking shit that they can't move, that sits, that they don't want. Dude, so the slowdown for me is like, again, I'm a Pokemon business. I'm a TCG business. Slowdowns are good. It's buying season. Like it's buying season. Like the people you're listening to on YouTube are making content because they can't make 100% in a month and they're annoyed.
Right.
That's not how investing works. Your average return is 7 to 10%. In the S&P 500, your money should double every 7 to 8 years if you're doing it right. Yep. And if you're getting, 80% of your stuff right, and the money that even I and when we spoke, right, I was having panic attacks. I'm like, it's not supposed to do this. It wasn't supposed to do this. Like,
Right.
I was expecting my boxes to be like 20, 32, and I was going to sell them and use it for my kids' college fund. And instead, I have capital for a business because it exploded so much.
Right. Exactly.
It was never supposed to be this. It's a high beta accident to a point. I'm not going to say like I knew this was going to happen. I just expected that it would be worth a decent amount more and I could make some money on it and use it as part of my hobby that I was collecting, right?
Yeah.
But the expectations have gotten out of control, and I'll leave it at that. And you're listening to people for entertainment. You're listening to people for fun and for, hey, look at this fight at Sam's Club, and those get the most clicks. And it's not who I am. It's not the person I am. My average watch time is 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I'm here telling you that like I've been successful doing it, and nobody cares. It doesn't make a difference.
I mean, yeah. Well, again, it's wild to think about all the different avenues that people are doing. I mean, it's like you're hustling, man. Like, and that's what I was saying earlier. It's like, it's like hustling in different forms. Like, how much time are you spending on a day-to-day basis doing?
I didn't make it to work. I didn't make it to work today. I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning last night, and I worked from home this morning.
Okay.
I was like, I have to work from home. I forgot to set my alarm clock. Well, I go to work 5 days a week in the city, so
Right.
I wake up at 5:45, and I get to work like 7:30, and I walk in the door at 7, and then I have to pick my kids up. I don't start till 9. I haven't been to the gym in 6 months. I'm sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night. And again, like last night I came home at 9, I did packages for an hour. I had like 10 or 11 orders between eBay, TCG Player, and one on the website. Then it's 10:30. Then you make a video that was shit because you're tired. You've been up since 5:45. And and then the next day you go to work and you see goddamn people streaming all day because they have so much inventory and product. And I'm
I
like,
know, dude.
they're just streaming on eBay all day. And it's like, how do you compete with that? I just take it for what it is. If you stay on the internet long enough and you watch these clips that you're not working hard enough, or you need to do this better, or you need to buy an AI company, and you like, it'll make you crazy. It'll make you crazy. Like, I
Yeah.
believe that I'm doing the right thing. I'm building relationships with the right people who are good people who, in the long run, something will break your way the right way. And, good things happen. Like, I did a box opening for the Naruto on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I pulled the case hit, and it was a $2,000 card. So I sent it to PSA to get graded. It came back at 10. So that's like a $2,500 card. So I'm like, I was on the stream like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Like, that's the case hit. Don't buy these cards because you're not going to get the case hit. But I was honest, right? But I'm like, if you just keep doing stuff, like if I wouldn't have made that video and pulled that box by accident, I wouldn't have $2,000 in extra money to give to the distributor. Like, things will break your way. Like somebody, like, again, the LGSs called me last week. That took 6 months for somebody to call me. Like,
Sure.
they were like, oh, we can't move the product finally. There's 3 shit sets. Let's call this kid who called us. Like, so if you keep doing the little things right, I excel at that by doing the work. And I think like things come back home to roost for you. Whereas like, if you're just sitting there making content and expecting people to go to the website and buy stuff, like, I'm not going to wait for that. Like, so again, like, I could get my Pokemon Celebration the 30th and just put it on eBay, and nobody would care. Like, the distributor wouldn't care.
No, yeah. Yeah, man. It's really good advice. It's really good to hear that, from someone like you that's just putting in the work in all these different directions. Yeah. I mean, it's like I'm motivated. I'm motivated in this call. Go on eBay, list everything.
Yeah, like, again, like, last week, I sat down. I was like, I'm going through my storage unit. I have a lot of stuff. I'm still moving, things. I have like 40 graded comics, and I spent 2 nights. Like, if you go to my eBay store, you'll see all the graded comics. And I'm like, I could make a video, or I could put this on eBay, and I'll have $4,000 in possible sales for the next
Yeah.
month, and it'll feed out. And like, so those little things make up for it, because my goal as a YouTuber is to get people just to shop on the store. That's it. Like, I don't have anything else to say about people fighting at Sam's Club or scalpers or this, because the scalping thing is a whole nother story. Because if you go back a few years ago, like, people are like, everyone's opening up an LGS, and I'm like, you're all morons, because I remember when all the LGSs were closing.
Right.
Because I remember my LGS closed. Like, now there's a new LGS. Now there's 4 in like my 15-mile radius, which is like an anomaly.
Right.
Right. So, it's a boom, and everybody thinks it's going to last, but I don't know when it's going to crash. I'm just preparing for it to go on as long as it goes on. But when it crashes, I'm preparing to be prepared. And I'm very even keel about it. And the emotion on YouTube, for me, it doesn't work. Like, I'm not going to be like, Ascended Heroes is better than Prismatic. I own both of them, and they sit in storage unit until I feel the price is appreciated enough to sell. Because you do reach a point, like that Evolving Skies box, nobody wants it. It's $2,500.
Right.
Like, you price out so many people.
Yep.
Like, there is something to be said about the wealth that's accumulated and the value, but you have to find a buyer.
Well, dude,
I've been trying to sell that privately. I won't put it on the website because I don't want to get charged back.
Right.
I've been trying to sell that privately to vendors, to people. You'd be surprised. Even the vendors are like 2,100, 22 maybe. I'm like, no, I want market for it. Like, it's the best box ever. Like, the people walk by, they'll make jokes like, I got to sell a kidney. Like, I'm here for the fun. Like, most people can't afford that.
Dude, I don't know if you've seen Brian's kind of content over the past 3-4 months. Like, I think like DJ's Poke Center, like, I think he's found a lot of success buying collections and reselling them.
DJ's super rich though.
Yeah.
Again, like, congrats to DJ. Like, I root for everybody. Like, I don't care what anyone's doing. Like, I'm my own competitor. And again, like, there were 400 vendors at the card show the other day. Like, there's so many people doing this. Like, you can't go after people. It's whatever you is. But DJ obviously comes from money. Like, you can't just show up in the hobby and be like, hey, I bought a $24,000 collection and put it on YouTube. Like, let's be real. Like, I have a problem doing that. Like, I could do that, but I'm choosing to wait, but if I did that, I would have a problem putting that on YouTube. That's my problem.
Well,
I don't want anyone to know that I did that.
And this is where, like, we get into a little bit of like just making some assumptions. Like, that's DJ's bread and butter, is buying expensive collections, reselling them to people who are into buying very expensive things.
To whales,
exactly.
Yeah.
Brian and DJ, is makes content. He's very good at it. People watch him. Like, he's grown a following too. Brian has watched his videos. Like, he's gone on his streams a couple times. Like, Brian started buying some collections, like, huge. Like, I don't know if you like. I don't know if this is a wrong number or not, but like $100,000+ collections. And
right, but that's what I was saying before. Like, the boom has created so much wealth for these guys, and the education that Pokemon always goes up. That when the distributor gets backed up, that 100,000 he's gonna get the first phone call. I'm just hoping there's like a half a pallet left for me if we get there.
Right. And but what my point is that Brian has struggled to sell those boxes because they're so dang expensive. Like, he's had boxes and ETBs that are like several thousand $several thousand, like, just sitting on his site. And but the point in all of this is that there comes a time in which you have reached a threshold that it no longer becomes an easy sell. Hell, it's like it's not an easy sell to sell my stupid Surging Spark CTVs on my website for like $10 under market, and it's like it just as a business, like you have to be cognizant of what that is, and it's like all those it's like all the Reddit people on like the Pokeinvest
I don't go on
subreddit.
I don't go on.
So like you have everyone who's put in their inventory, their collection inside of like the collector app, and it pulls market prices from TCG Player, I guess. And it's like, oh, my collection is worth $100,000. I'm ready to sell $100,000. I'm ready to sell it right now. How do I do it? And it's like it's not happening.
Dude, how about this? So this, and again, like I said it before, like I have a problem with the videos that are made. I watched Brian make a video a few years ago, how to ship Pokemon cards, and I'm sitting there going, if you can't get a tape measure and a box from Amazon and measure a box, you shouldn't have a business. Like these little things drive me crazy because like I'm like I'm always going and I want to know like what's going on, but like I don't need to know how to ship product. Like I've been doing this a long time. Like so like again, when new people start, I don't know if they're getting the wrong impression or but there are hundreds of ways. So like when I vend, like I'm like, damn man, like I'm taking the next week off. Like I'm not I'm not going to keep pressing this, like because my bills are $380 a month. Like I did $8,000 today. Like I'm taking the next. I'm going to the beach. Like I got a real job and a family. Like so like unless I can get more product, because then the next day I have to get back to work, buy a collection. And most of the people in Jersey, they tell me to F off. They're like 70%. Is that a joke? And I'm like, you'll see. Like you shouldn't be doing this. Like you'll see. Like it's gonna come home to roost eventually. I don't know when, but there's only so much that can go on, and there's only so much money that can fly around. And for me, that this is like a hedge against corporate America. This is an AI hedge as well. With AI coming, I don't know what my job's gonna look like there.
Definitely.
And if that does happen, like I'm really always going, like you don't know, like I make myself crazy. Like if that does happen, right? Who's gonna have money for Pokemon cards? And if if you don't get the kids into the hobby, who are you going to sell the Pokemon cards to? And you have all these things, all these variables that in the collectibles world, because I've been in the collectibles world, like comics, like I have a Spider-Man comic. I'm looking at it right now. Secret Wars is coming out. I paid like $550 for it. It's maybe $650. I bought it 6 years ago. Like it's been a dead market in comics. Sure. Marvel movies fell off a cliff. Like everyone always thinks the same thing's going to keep happening over and over and over again. And the thing that blows up markets is the thing that no one is talking about. Right. Like so in 2008, it was the mortgage crisis. In 2020, it was COVID. Did anybody think you were going to get sent home for a medical virus, like for a global pandemic? So like I'm waiting to see when it does happen. It's the thing that no one's talking about. Like, and every YouTuber will be like, this just happened. And I'll be like, but nobody was talking about it.
No one saw it coming.
And again, like even the pop reports, like I've been selling all my slabs off. Like I was a big slab collector. I sold my Yu Nagaba set on eBay yesterday for like, I think 2,700 or 2,800.
Nice.
I was checking the pop reports today on the Charizard card. Dude,
Which one?
It's 28,000 PSA 10s. On the Phantasmal Flames Charizard. Phantasmal Flames. And PSA has 10 million cards backed up.
Yeah.
So, like, how many more do you think are there? Like, how massive is this hobby right now that all these people are doing this? And the price of the card has went from 2,700 to 2,000 while the backup at PSA is happening. So people are losing money if you paid for it and degrade it. Like, it's a crazy time because there's so many people here.
Dude, it's wild. That's something that like I'll say over the past 2 months is like not creating content has and sort of really just taking a break from the business as a whole. Like I've been away from the hobby, the market. Like I don't know what the hell's going on, and I'm trying to catch back up. But like,
Yeah.
uh, man, it's just it's wild where we're at, and it's like it's the summer slowdown, but it's like it is still going so strong.
Yeah, it's really strong. It's really strong. And I don't play, the TCGs, and you know, I know the popular Pokemon, I know the Pokemon games, but I am a sealed collector. Like so, to come online and be like talk about the sets, it's not for me. Like,
Yeah,
and again, like everyone goes to Poke Beach and everyone does the Poke Beach thing.
I know.
And I'm like, how
Everyone's
many times
like,
can you watch it? Like how many
yeah,
times can
dude,
you
it's.
watch it?
I mean, but that's where it's like,
Like,
dude, I get it. I get it.
were the
That's awesome.
Rayquaza cards even revealed yet? Did anyone see them
No,
yet?
dude,
Like,
we should
so
talk about
how do
that for
you
a second.
even know what's in it if it's just
It's
Rayquaza? Like,
it's
how do you
fucked.
know what's in it? And people are paying. I would have to sell the box for like 220 to two
Yep,
thirty on my website.
yep.
What are you putting it up for?
217.
Yeah, so we're about the same, right?
Yep.
Like, so if you're working on, I try to work on 15% margins to try to get some
Sure.
more people there, but I'd like to be at 20.
Yep.
But it's a Japanese box. Like, plus the 30th is coming. The Japanese 30th is coming. They're still
It's
printing Abyss Eye. Like Abyss Eye dropped to 70, 71 or 72. I bought a lot of it, and I put it on the website and sent an email out like 82.99 special. Like I thought that was a good way to do it, and I got a lot of sales from that to give the loyal customers a gift.
yeah.
But like Rayquaza, it could drop to 130, 120, 130, a month later because Abyss Eye, I originally paid 110 for it, and then I got it for
Yep.
71 4 weeks later. So
Yep.
like it's very volatile, and you
Well,
gotta be careful with that. And
yeah.
hopefully you only bought like 10 boxes.
Well, I mean, yeah. Like it's I've
like
only
like
bought a
regular
handful.
Japanese customers, like regular Japanese customers for me, I probably would have sold like 1 or 2 boxes.
Yeah. Well, and it's like it's just the absurdity of this set. Like we have no idea what the artwork is gonna look like. It could be a trash card. Like it could be terrible,
Yeah.
and that would tank the
Dude, you
price
should you should
overnight.
go vend. Dude, you should go vend. I'm telling you. Like you
Why?
should go to a show. You should go to a show, make a card, and when you meet people, be like, I'm Logan, and I have 27,000 Instagram followers, and I run a six-figure. Like you'll blow people away, dude. Like I sold 40 boxes at one show a couple weeks ago because businesses were buying them. Like I sold all my Japanese product, and I sell like 3 boxes a month on the website.
That's
Like
crazy, man.
I wasn't prepared for what happened. Like you have kids running around that want cheaper product. Um,
the
I
the
sold,
problem with
like when
vending
I went
is
vending, I got 2 cases of the second partner boxes, the illustrations. I sold all of them vending. Nobody bought them on the website for 40 bucks, but I sold 12 of them in an hour vending. Like people come from everywhere to the shows and they hang out all day, and it's a good way to meet people. The only problem is nobody shops on the store. Like once you meet people,
yeah,
they're like, no, no, I want to
there's
hang out at the card show all day. And here's another thing about the card shows. I just have to say it. They will drive an hour away. They will walk into a card show, pay a cover, and fight you over $5.
I mean that's just the culture of it though. Like
It's wild. It's wild.
the thing
But you
about
should vend, dude. I'm
vending,
telling you, you should bring all your Japanese product, go to a card show, make cards, like be personable. You don't need a camera. Just I shake everyone's hand. I'm like, hey, I'm Chris. I run an online card store. I have distribution. If you want English product, give us a follow. And then I cut open like I was giving out Munich Zero last
yeah.
time. So I'll bring a box of Chinese and and anyone who buys something, I give free packs to.
Yep.
And dude, you wind up making like you'll make a killing. I'm telling you, because there's so many people there, and you're there for 8 hours. If it's a good show,
The
it's a good way to move product really fast, and you'll feel like wow, I did like 25% of what my website does in a month, in a day. Like it'll make you
vending's.
want to do it like every week.
I know. Like that's it's like a drug. It's like screw this, online thing. I'm going vending.
Well, no, but like, as long as you keep it separate, like as long as you like, again, like the problem I have like is I charge sales tax for people. I build in the price. So I'll be like, it's 95 the box, but if you pay digital, it's 102, right? And most people don't care, and some people curse at me. But again, like when I take that cash in, I deposit cash into the account. I keep it all separate, and Woodbridge Card Show, New Jersey, sales tax to pay, and I pay the sales tax. Like I do. Like I don't mess around. But if you're in New York, when you do a show in New York, you don't pay sales tax. So, or if you're business to business, like,
Yeah.
like I'll be like, somebody bought boxes from me. They bought 10 boxes. Like, if you're a business, I'm gonna give me your email. I'll email you the form. I'll put you on file so I can deposit you. They'll be like, okay. And then this happens. The little kids come around with their pouches. They're like 16 years old, and they want to pay cash. And I'm like, I'll fuck with them. I'll be like, if you want to pay cash, you have to fill out the ST3 form. Like, what's an ST3 form? I'm like, well, you have $800 in cash. You must be a real business. He's like, I'm not a business. I'm like, well, then, I can't take the cash in because I only deal business to business. He's like, you're messing with me, right? I'm like, no, like, and I'll just throw I'll tell him to go away. Like I won't, because I can't take the cash in. If I take in the cash and I deposit the cash, because I mean, I don't have to deposit the cash. People don't, but I want to, because I want it all there.
Yeah.
To, to pay my kids on the payroll, to, utilize the good traits of a business for write-offs, to buy inventory the right way, to have it all documented. You'd have to pay $66 in sales tax.
Yeah.
At the end of the month. So I do all things the right way, unlike a lot of the people who curse at me and tell me to fuck myself and all this shit, because I asked them to fill out a form and they're not real businesses. It's Tony Soprano, New Jersey, dude. Everyone's a soprano.
Dude, we have there's actually some people in the chat. So Dallas is here, PCC is here. PCC says, yeah, you should vend for sure, Logan.
Vending is fun. Like, again, on YouTube, my personality doesn't show, but I have a blast vending and messing with people. And like, especially because like they're all gangsters. Sure. And they're like, come on, like 80%. And I'll be like, dude, do you want to see my bank account? And he'd be like, no. Like, what are you, like, rich or something? And I'm like, no. I'm just like I don't need to sell it 80%. Like, you need to buy it at 80%, because everyone is a business and you're all looking for those 20% margins. But again, like I've operated in the space so long, I don't remember when this was a thing. Like, even on Facebook, like, I'm trading, everyone trades at 80%. Like college kids trade at 80%. I'm like,
it's so stupid.
I'm like, dude, like I don't even go on anymore. I don't go on. I don't buy collections. I literally don't even go into Pokemon Center queue. I was looking at my orders in the Pokemon Center. I had cases of every ETB of every Pokemon Center. And then I remember the day. I remember the prismatic drop when they limited it from 4 to 2.
Yeah.
And I went on and I bought every single case. I bought Brilliant Stars. Like, Brilliant Stars was available on the Pokemon Center 2 years ago.
I remember.
Like all this stuff is just so crazy to me in such a hyperbolic, beta market. I can't wait till, it tones down a little bit and there's a real slowdown, and we see, people really, have to struggle,
Yeah. The vending space will be very interesting. PCC says he's in Austin, so he'd come see me.
Yeah,
so,
dude, I'm telling you, man, like the last 3 shows, and I only do one show. There was a robbery. I did a video. There was a robbery.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Dude, they robbed this guy. They were 4 guys with guns. They tracked him at the show and they robbed him there. 150,000 in product. They jumped him in.
And you're trying to convince me to do this shit.
No, but you're just bringing cheap Japanese boxes. Like,
kidding,
I just bring, I don't bring cases. I just bring sealed Japanese. I brought the Caillou from the distributor.
Yeah.
Dude, I sold a case of it.
Naruto?
Wild. The K-pop Demon Hunters.
K-pop is crazy.
Yo, My Little Pony and K-pop Demon Hunters, fire.
Like, My Little Pony has been surprising that I've seen. So, okay, wait. let's wrap up vending.
Yeah.
Do you sell singles when you're vending?
No.
Really?
No. It's too much. It's too much work to deal with the people. You know, like I'm a sealed store now. My goal is to use vending to bring people to the store and move sealed product. You know, so even again, like I was telling, one of the guys next to me is like, yo, don't sell to that guy. Like he's a whatnot guy. They bought my whole table of slabs for 88% market, and the vendor next to me got mad. I was like, dude, he can have them for 88% market. Like, you know, and they put them in these mystery things. It was like one of these groups that put them in the mystery things. So like, you know, I don't want the slabs anymore because the slab market is so high that like I'm selling into the slabs now, like, you know, because that's what I have. So like that's my inventory I'm moving now is the high end slabs because I have just one goal, and that's to build allocation with the distributor. That's it.
Yeah.
So I'll tell a quick story real quick. So probably in September, and I did a video on this too, I bought the Gengar Pikachu like against my will for 2,400 cash. It was like $3,000, and I bought it for 2,400. And then in November of last year,
Chinese one.
Yeah, the Chinese one.
Yeah.
So then in November of last year, it dropped. So I bought two more for like 12 to 1,500. And I told you before, if I'm not willing to buy something 50% lower, I won't buy it.
Right.
So I had the 3 cards, and they were like an average cost of like 1,700.
Right.
Dude, those cards were like $5,000 now. So last month I went to the vending show, and the week before I went on vacation, and I offloaded them to a vendor for $12,000. And I picked up, like, I made like $7,000 just by sitting on them and doing nothing. And I was like, I'm not working this week. Like, I'm off.
Take a vacation, brother.
And then, like, I went on YouTube and I told people, but nobody gives a shit. But like doing nothing and being patient are the two best things you can do in this hobby. I get worried about a lot of the vendors just because they're fully invested. So like, if you have 100%. An inventory of 50,000, I would have 30,000 in cash to be able to buy down. They don't. They have full markup inventory, and they just keep turning it higher. And I just feel like something bad's gonna happen, and it's gonna get 100%. It's gonna get ugly.
Like, and
if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I just feel like it is inevitable.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, you have so many content creators that are, like, they've made their image through vending. And, like, there's some that'll, like, do the whole breakdown of, like, an entire vending trip where they're flying across the country, and it's like, you're right. It makes me nervous for them. Like, because I know that not every single one of these vendors is doing what they need to be doing to, defend against.
And again, like we spoke before, right? We spoke before. Like I'm 43, man. Like I would never do this. Never do this. Never take the risk of doing this if I didn't have the capital to warrant a really big downturn.
Right.
Like, and I am, whoever's in the chat, if you're a fucking business and the distributor calls me, like I was talking to Raw TCG the other day, Matt. I'm like, Matt, send me your paperwork. He's a good dude. I'm like, I'm onboarding people that want product in case it comes. I can afford it, but I would like to help people and build relationships. And if I can turn the business from, hey, I'm keeping my job and keeping the distribution account and moving it for $20, $30 a booster box so other people can collect and make money, I would be happy doing that. Like there's so many avenues and paths. Like you said it, right? You have a wholesaler. That wholesaler is getting it at distribution and just doing no work to move it in volume.
Yep.
Like how, and he's probably like easy money, easy money, easy money, no bullshit. And I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, and like he's seen success from it. Like, and more power to him. Like,
yeah, but they worked for it. They, again, I've seen the bad times. Like,
yeah, he's been in it for a while, and like the kind of you mentioned it before, like typically businesses fail. I don't know the percentage, but like the ones that have found success over the long periods are the ones that have ridden out the bad times. And it's like I keep telling myself, like, I I gotta make this business at least last, until we hit the bottom, just to see what see what I'm made of. Is honestly sort of a mentality that I have. It's like I want to see, how
Yeah.
things go when it is dark and no one wants to be doing this, and it's like I'm not having fun.
Hard. They call it hard mode. They call it hard.
Yeah,
It's hard
hard
mode.
mode.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, it
But
can't
you
last
should
forever.
definitely vend, dude. Like you should try. Like you ever watch Dan? Try everything.
Yeah.
Like I've done everything. So like the last part of it was the online store. Like, again, like even just a couple months ago, this is when I really turned my brain off. Like I went to a card show. It was like 15 minutes away, and I wanted to buy. This was when PSA was still accepting cards for $25. The Bulbasaur stamped promo is like a $600 card,
Yeah.
and it's like a $15 card. So I went to the card show and I bought 30 of them, and I was gonna send in the top 15 and put the rest in a binder, whatever it is, right? Dude, the first row, there were like 300 vendors. The first row, I found like 50 of them. Like there's so much product and they all have the same crap
Yeah.
because people don't go back to what they don't know. So you won't hear people talk about Sun and Moon. You won't hear people talk about XY. They don't. It's too expensive, and they weren't here when it was there, and now they're priced out, and they don't care. So it's all ultra modern that all the new people are operating in. You know. But you should vend. It's awesome. I'm telling you, you have a good personality. Like you talk to people, you fuck with people, you mess with people. Like I really like my personality really comes out in it. I just can't even hook up the camera because I'm old and I don't want to do it.
Dude,
But
you should
I
hook up.
mess with
I
people
mean,
so bad, especially the young kids. Like when they're like when I tell them you have to be a business and their face drops, it's priceless.
yeah, it's like that's
And again,
that's
like
crazy
you
shit
never know.
that
Look, you never
that
know. Look,
not many people are used to.
I've met so many relationships from vending. Like you just do enough, and somebody you meet somebody, and that person could change your whole trajectory on what you're doing.
Sure.
So again, like I met I met the vending machine guy. So this guy owns vending machines, 8 vending machines across New Jersey. He has one in Chicago Airport,
Yeah.
and he has Pokemon cards in the thing. So he calls me now, and he'd be like, "Hey, I need 3 cases," and I'll be like, "No problem." Like, so I'm moving. Like, I'm not building any new customers by moving 3 cases to him from my sealed inventory. I'm just bringing in more capital for distribution. Like,
Right.
so I'm not doing anything. Brian said, I'm not building new customer bases, building community. I'm just bringing in the money as fast as possible
Just selling
and
shit.
building the war chest for this
Yeah.
the impending hopeful collapse that we do get. Like,
Yeah, man.
because once you're in and you're getting the product, then you're in forever.
Yeah,
Right?
dude.
But you should vend. I fully support that. And if you want to trade in the slabs, you do what I do. Oh yeah, I'll take in your PSA 10 for 80%. And you talk to the vendor next to you, be like, hey, I just took this in for 80, for $80. Give me 83 and you can have it. And you just move it and take the money back in real quick.
Man, I need to switch up my hustle.
Well, you should try everything. Like, I did bulk for 2 years. I graded cards for 5 years. Now I'm vending as part of the business and the online store.
Yeah.
And, my whole system since I've been doing this is to sell singles and grade cards and sell bulk to buy more sealed product. That was the whole thing. And I never played the game, and that's how I operated. I did it in this room by myself, and now everybody's like, oh, another fucking guy is here. But like, I did it, and I don't really care what people think because I did it the right way.
Yeah, I know. Man, we've been at this for about an hour and a half. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I actually have to pick up my daughter at 11:15, so I'm good if you want to keep going for a little bit or
Cool.
whatever. She's at a friend's house.
No, yeah, I'm just hanging out.
Yeah.
So anything that you want to chat about?
No, not really. I mean, like, have you noticed how many other online stores are actually out there now? Like, have you looked around like Instagram?
Yes. Um, but I've also just been under the impression like I am, how do I say this? Like there's no end to it, and there never has been. Like, when I started, it's like it felt like it was sort of a desert, but like it was not, and I know it wasn't. And now it's like I know that there's
Right.
even more. Um,
Right.
I don't know. Like it's weird because you have a lot of people who are going all in on it. Um, and I mean, honestly, it's the amount of rip and ship that's happening. Like I was doing rip and ship. I wanted to experiment with it,
I saw you on
and
Whatnot a few times. Yeah.
yeah. So I was on. I did whatnot. I did. I shot. I went for, and PCC is actually in the chat, and they were there, and so like they can
Nice.
vouch. Like I was doing it for 3 nights a week. Um, I was moving
Wow.
so much product.
Were
Like
you profitable?
no, I was like I was like dead even basically. Like
Okay.
I had some streams that would lose money. I had some streams that would make money, but that was like if you can dial that in, and if you can work your ass off, like this is what I say. It's like if AI takes my job, I get laid off. I'm
I'm never
there is
I'm
there is
I'm
a
never going
small
back.
chance.
I'm
Yeah,
never
I
going back.
know.
Never
Like
going back. I can't go back to corporate America if they throw me out. And I make decent money, and you know I said see ya. I it's like the blind leading the blind. It's just it's only a matter of time. I think personally.
I
Whatever.
mean, I agree. I agree. I think like um, like I work in software engineer. I'm a software engineer, and
Nice.
6 months ago, you'd ask me like, "Oh, do you think AI is going to take your job anytime soon?" I'd said, maybe in like 5 to 10 years, based off of the pace that we're seeing.
No,
Literally two
faster,
months later,
faster.
yeah, 2 months later, uh, my whole like it has exponentially sped up. Like I'm saying now, it's like, you know, I'd be surprised if the entire software industry is like not turned upside down in like 3-4 years. And
Technology
in
moves at the speed. It moves 3 to 4 times faster than anyone thinks it ever moves.
right,
Look where we went from like the internet in 2000 to 2007 to the iPhone. Like look how quick that changed the world from one to two.
yeah,
You know, and I get angry about that because the year I graduated college with 100,000 student loans, the iPhone comes out, and I got to watch Ryan's toy review, open toys, and make millions of dollars on YouTube.
yeah,
Like I didn't open my mind to the education of the literacy, the financial literacy, because I didn't have any. Like they were like, you go to school, that'll change your life. Climbing the corporate ladder hasn't changed my life one bit.
right,
Like because I get a new job and everything gets more expensive. It's
yep,
been the investing in the S&P 500, the investing in Bitcoin, the investing in Apple, the staying home and skipping dinners with my wife. Like, you skip fucking 20 dinners for $250. You put that into the market. 5 years from now, that turns into something. And like you tell people that, and they yell at you like you got to live your life. I'm like, well, then you don't sacrifice. You don't get it. Like everyone's got to sacrifice something. And what what's your how do you handle the stuff no one talks about? So my biggest problem, and it was a problem last year when I sold the collection, and it's still a problem now, is the space with the cards showing up. So like what's your current situation, and what is your plan for growth? Because I have a storage unit. It's filled halfway with, cards and Legos. I have a lot of sealed Lego I invest in. And other things, right, that I'm clearing out. Um, and like I had 140 boxes of cards show up the other day, and my wife was having like a panic attack. And I'm like, that's only like 6 boxes. Like I'm planning
I
to get like
know.
50 cases here. Like
I know.
what's your
I know.
plan?
I,
What's
yeah.
your plan for that? Like what are you planning on? Like do you have any sort of plan? Like what do you do now? Where do you put it?
Yeah. It's so right now, like, okay, so probably like 6 months ago, we had this bedroom that was just kind of collecting dust, not doing anything, and it was at a point where like I had my entire closet full of like English, Japanese, simplified Chinese boxes just starting to pile up, and like I'm like packing orders kind of everywhere around the house,
Mm-hmm.
and my girlfriend, she was awesome. She's like, you know what? Let's just turn this bedroom into sort of this storage slash packing space.
Yeah, for
Um,
now.
for now. I know. Well, we're 6 months from that, and we're
Yeah.
now at a point where like that room is overwhelming, and it's like I don't want to pack orders in there anymore because it's just so chaotic. And
Yeah.
so I don't know, man. It's funny, like when I got distro and I was so excited, and my girlfriend doesn't quite understand it. She wants to,
Yep.
but like
Yep.
you know I got in my mind, like there will be a time when the Pokemon market has come and gone. I've had my opportunity to start my spend with distro. Like there will be a time in
Mm-hmm.
the future where I will be getting pallets and pallets of boxes. Like
I dream about it.
I dream about it. I know it's gonna happen eventually. Just
Yeah.
stick with it. The
I don't
whatever.
think it will. I don't think it's going to, but you know,
Well,
we'll see.
live with my dream for a second.
Yeah.
There is enough space in our house where, like, we could line the hallways, but
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 30.
Are you married?
No, we're not married.
You got ways to go, my friend.
I know.
You got the marriage, the kids, the
Yeah,
this, we need that. My wife's
yeah,
trying to take money from the business for new windows for the house. I'm like,
yeah,
it's staying in the business. We're not doing
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's
The
to
struggle.
answer your question. I don't know. Like
Hmm. Okay.
there's a part of me that like I've looked into um like storage space, like kind of like a warehouse kind of esque, where it's like a very tiny um thing with like with the loading dock, and then there's like a small sort of like office area. Like could rent something like that maybe. For now, we're stuck with the room, and my
Yeah.
garage is filled with like craft paper.
Okay.
Um,
I have stuff everywhere, and like, so I have the storage unit, and I literally have boxes stacked halfway in this room over here. Like you can't see them, but the whole
yeah,
row is stacked. And I was like, I'm not gonna have any cards here, but I need them here to when people order stuff. So this is
yeah,
all Japanese and like all the stuff I've been buying that just stacks up. And then, so I was gonna cut the garage in half and make it climate controlled in
sure.
the back. Dude, it's everything is just so expensive. It's
Is
like
that what you're
stupid
doing?
money. Well, we're re-sheet rocking the garage to create more space. We took out all like I'm a corporate America guy. Like I don't know how to do anything around the house, so
Yeah.
we're taking out like all the stuff we don't use, like the cabinets, the old cabinets. It's
Okay.
gonna be open space, and we're gonna have like a toolbar in the other side, like a tool rack.
Sure.
And then for this room, the floors are buckling, like they're all buckling, so they're all
Okay.
old. And we have some stuff to fix. So literally after that's done, we're gonna do the guts. We're just gonna sheetrock it, insulate the garage, and get it redone, and like have some space for boxes and stuff like that. Like I'm gonna have like a space for it. And then in this room, like I have this desk here for work. I'm gonna move the toys around this way. I'm gonna clear out all the collectibles, and then I'm gonna put another computer over there. It's gonna be shipping station, eBay scanner over here. I'm gonna
Sick.
get everything out, like all the collectibles are gonna go. I'm gonna move them over here, and then this whole back wall back here, I'm gonna get rows are gonna be bulk across the whole back.
Yep.
So so like I'm gonna have to move everything out, They're
Yep.
gonna paint it, do the floors, and then move it all back in. So for the next like till September, I'm just gonna be like out of commission, probably like just take a Logan
Doing
break,
stuff. I
and
know.
like
Yeah.
maybe I should probably make video and be like, hey, this is the transformation room,
You
but like
should.
I just don't
You
give a shit.
should,
Like I
man.
really don't care.
I know you don't, but you
I don't
should.
care.
It'd be people would watch it. They would even watch like TikToks.
I can't. I
Like
just like it drives me nuts. Drives me
you
crazy.
you have daughters, right? Like how old are they again?
They're girls, dude. Like they don't want anything
Well,
to do with.
I don't know. Like well, no, but like you have
They're on the payroll. They sort bulk for me.
right. And it's like, you know, they're probably into like social media. I don't know. Like maybe they could edit. Maybe
No,
they
so
can learn how to edit.
my older daughter is going into eighth grade,
Oh,
and
okay.
so I actually bring a couple kids to the shows to work with me. Like they work with me
Oh,
and
yeah.
they vend with me. So she's like super embarrassed that like I make content. Like I'm embarrassing her in middle school.
Yeah.
Like that her dad sells Pokemon cards online.
Oh, jeez.
And like
That is a fun.
embarrassed. And I
fun
tell her, I'm like,
dynamic.
so I actually, the only game I've ever played is Magic. And like, it's funny because I was captain of the football team in high school and I played Magic.
Yeah.
And I never told a soul that I played Magic.
Dude.
Like you get thrown down
Oh yeah, you'd get bullied.
You know, now, in 2026, it's so cool to be a nerd all of a sudden. It's like,
I was talking to someone
New
about
world.
how like, oh yeah, I was talking to just my girlfriend's friends. They were like, because they know about the business, they know what I do, and like, they were like, Logan, did you ever play Pokemon growing up? I was like, yeah, I did, but I didn't tell anyone. Like I was embarrassed,
Yeah.
to have
Yeah.
my Game Boy out like at school. Like, no, fuck that. Like, because that it was embarrassing. like I couldn't be playing Pokemon. I couldn't be
Yeah.
interested in Pokemon because that wasn't, an accepted cool thing. Versus now it's like, the same people that like, I went to middle school and high school with, it's like, I see them, it's like, they'll read out, they're like, Logan, I didn't know you were into Pokemon. I didn't know that, you
Yeah.
did this.
I get questions from the moms, and there's like there's some nosy
Yeah.
people. I won't say this out loud, but I'll throw stupid numbers out there. Like when they really bother me, they'll be like, how you doing? I'm like, I did $1 million in sales last year. I just walk away, and I'm like, no, that's my wife's like, you can't say that stuff. I'm like, what do they care? So
cares?
I'll
Yeah.
tell this story real quick. I started collecting like 2013, 14, just to do something for myself, like in the collectible world. Like I started with Marvel, and so I work in finance and trading, and I was in the back office, and Pokemon Go came out. This is how I actually got into Pokemon, and some guy walked off a cliff. Like if you Google Pokemon Go California man walks off cliff. Like
Yeah.
I was like, this motherfucker walked off a cliff playing Pokemon Go. Like this shit must be popular.
It
And,
must be good.
Like a couple days later, Nintendo stock, which is it's an ADR. It trades in the Japanese market,
yeah.
but it's a U.S. stock domiciled in Japan, right? They kept halting it. Like I was working before I was on like the trade desk. I'm on now. I was in the back, and it kept getting halted, and we kept getting phone calls. And I was like, motherfucker, like, what is going on? Like, this is causing so much work, right? And, I was talking to these people, and they're like, I want to buy Nintendo stock because of Pokemon Go. And I remember being on the phone going, Pokemon has nothing to do with Nintendo stock, you morons. Like, this is the herd. This is the herd mentality, right? Everyone just heard Pokemon Go was so popular, and they piled into the stock. And the stock popped like 100%, and they kept halting it due to like triggers. There's something called like a trigger. If a stock moves too fast,
Yeah.
they'll halt the volatility on it, right, for
Yep.
news, right? And it was causing a lot of work for me. So I always laugh because, and this is where I go back to, to stay consistent. If you do things for the right reason. So all these people went into the stock, and then it collapsed. And then like 2 months later, the fucking Nintendo Switch got announced, and the stock went up like 100%. Like, so if you had just bought it for the right reasons and had
Right,
a
yeah.
thought process, but instead you're trying to get rich quick, you're trying to do all this real fast, and you just fuck yourself. Like it just, do the right thing and, have a plan. And like Pokemon investing, it has no fundamentals. Like
Right.
it has zero fundamentals. Like you don't know what's out there. You don't know how much there is. When you're like, oh, it's selling for $60 on eBay, but there's only one on eBay, but there's 12 in my closet and there's, hundreds more at card shows. Like the system's a little janky to me. You know, I need to know what I'm working with most of the time if I'm going to analyze something.
Do you think that Pokemon is an investable thing if you're looking like 30 years from now?
Well, again, like, when you sit down and you invest in something, I don't carry credit card debt. It, you know, I buy. I don't know if you've seen my monthly investing videos. Like,
Yep.
I am a very consistent person. I buy. I do buy Apple and Google, which again, this is not financial advice because I do work in finance, right? Um, but I buy the S&P 500, and I don't play the political, changes and the law changes and the single stock risk anymore. It's
Yep.
past what I consider worth it.
Yep.
I've made my nut, if you can say, like
Yep.
in the high tech stocks with Apple, Google, Amazon the last like 10
Yep.
years. Like I'm good. Like, and if I just stay consistent, maxing out my 401k, going to work every day, me and my wife maxing out our 401k is like, we'll be fine. Like there won't be a problem.
Yeah.
But Pokemon is the last thing that I ever do. So I never, like, when I go into this video and I'm like, your budget's 250 a month. That used to be 3 booster boxes. Now it's
Right.
barely one, right? So, I used to open one, rip one, put one away, put one on the shelf, put one away, rip one, sell the bulk on TCG Player. Like it was fun to be able to open a box for 90
I know,
bucks.
dude. I know.
Like that was fun. Like it's not fun anymore. Like I don't think it's fun anymore. Like even as a business, like
No,
I've lost the joy of opening cards. Like I don't open cards anymore. I could care
I
less.
don't open cards anymore.
But
Dude,
as an investable
yeah.
thing, like, it wasn't for me from 2016 to Hidden Fates, which I think was 2019. I bought, I had a shelf. Like I just had a shelf here of one of every set. And the first box I sold last year was Team Up. When I started selling, I sold it for 4,200. I think it's like 12 grand now.
Yeah.
Like it moves in an unregulated marketplace. So the beta
Right.
can be higher
Yeah.
and faster and quicker. But people haven't seen the pain yet. The new people haven't been punished yet.
No.
They haven't sat through it for 7 years because it was the extra thing and it was the hobby it was a hobby. It
Yep.
was an extra way and I used the hobby to pay for these toys and I used the hobby to pay for more sealed product. I wasn't sitting here going, you're going to get rich on Pokemon cards. I was just collecting like a psychopath.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
like, and then, when Hidden Fates came out, there was the up, the down, the up. And I was like, okay, this is an unregulated market. And then COVID hit and I saw the COVID pop. So when the COVID pop crashed, I went in. I was like, I've been
Yeah.
here 6 years now. I've seen this. Evolving Skies is the set.
Yep.
It's got all the popular Pokemon. It's got 12 alt arts. It's got Dragonite. My boy's Dragonite, by the way. The kids wanted Snorlax for the company because I'm the
Yeah.
dad and I sleep a lot. But,
Okay.
it's got the Dragonite. It's got the Rayquaza. It's got all the
Yeah.
evolutions. I had 4 or 5 cases of that. And, that was part of the war chest I have now, right?
Yep.
Selling it. Like, I knew that took that took 6 years, 7 years for me to learn. Starting the business, it took me 9 years to actually show my face on the internet because I had the online store. Like it takes time and this is just the next decade for me. Like this is year 10 for me
Sure.
now. Like I
Yeah.
started right before Generations, right? Like right before the 20th when
Yep.
Pokemon Go came out. So, like I've been doing it a long time and there's a lot of ways to do it. And that's why when I see the YouTubers, I know I'm old. Here's some old wisdom. Everyone's trying to sell you something, and again, Brian doesn't ask for money for a course, but Brian knows that the next person who starts this Pokemon company, when they Google it on YouTube and he says he's been successful, he'll sell them the Poke and he'll get money from Google. And Rudy sells you boxes for $118, but you pay him a $15 Patreon membership every month.
Yep.
So, if he has 500 patrons at $15 a pop, or 1,000 patrons plus all the YouTube revenue, he can afford to sell them for 118, because in the long term, that short-term pain adds value because he's still making a lot of money. There's all these different variables I'm always looking at when people just say like how cut and dry it is. And I just can't get around it. Like, I can't go on a podcast and fight about somebody with, is Prismatic better than Ascended Heroes? Like, it drives me absolutely nuts. And it has like 11,000 views and all these comments of people.
They're like, I'm gonna watch this
like,
again.
what are we doing with our lives? Like, I just want to sell you
sealed
Pokemon.
Argument
if you don't
every
want
single
it, don't
time.
buy it.
Like, it's so funny. Like, it's I don't know, man. It's wild. I was gonna say something else.
It's absolutely crazy. And again, like, you'll see it. Like, I don't know if you follow Riftbound. Riftbound's moving now. Like, it's moving well, but no one talks about it. Nobody talks about it.
I bought a case of Riftbound Unleashed.
Nice.
For
it's the third set.
Yeah.
Cheap, right? Like what? 620, 700?
Yeah, and it's
beautiful.
Going up. Yeah.
I have Spirit Forged in the thing, but again, if I send an email, no one will buy it from the website. I have it on the website, I think, for like 184. I have Spirit Forged and I have Origins, and I've been buying the first Origins. But again, like, I don't want to go on YouTube and tell people that.
Yeah.
Like, that's my thing. Like, if I have a play, like, I don't want to share it with people. Like, am I supposed to?
Yeah, right.
No, people like, want you to have an opinion.
I don't know, man. It's all weird. Like I've been making YouTube videos now for like 6 months. It took a pause, but like that shit hasn't taken off.
Did you? So when I looked at my analytics, I looked at them last week. I should probably look at them and reverse engineer the problem. I'm at 951, and it was like 680 from shorts. So nobody, like, I don't have the long form, like the long form people. But again, like, I'm more comfortable. Like, I'm more comfortable like this. Like, you can tell, right? Like,
we're just
when I'm making like a video and I'm like, gotta put music in the background and gotta edit it, and like you gotta change the view of the camera to check to make sure. I'm like, shoot me in the face, please. Like, are we this stupid as a site? Like, if I like, again, like, no offense to anyone who does content, but like, there are certain people who are very popular YouTubers. I don't follow them and I don't watch them. Like, Nostalgianomics, Pokey Plumber, Pokey Rev, those three guys, I don't care. Like, I know how to invest. Like, I'm not going to learn anything. I'm not impressed that you have a $15,000 box. I want to learn something. So when I watch Brian's videos and he's yelling at me in a parking lot to work harder, I just shut it off.
Yeah.
Like,
same.
But he did make that video about the packs. And I was like, motherfucker, like, because I give out free packs in all my orders, like Japanese, Chinese, and English sometimes to customers.
Mm-hmm.
So I found like 100 packs in storage by accident that I had. And I was like, I wasn't telling anybody I was doing it. So I actually did that, and I got like 2,800 sales that day. And I was like, all I had to do was tell people they were getting free packs. Like, so when he gives information, like, it does work.
Yeah.
But like, then it's like, now I have no product left because there's no product to sell. Or the things on the website people don't want because they bought the 151, they bought the Crown Zenith, they bought the shit out of Crown Zenith as soon as it goes up. They buy the Prismatic, they buy the Destined, but all the other sets, the Journeys, the Twilights, even the Surgings, the MEO ones, the MEO 3, 4, 5, the 3 and 4, the Chaos. Now I had Greninja boxes. I got a couple Greninja boxes from Distro. The sets.
Yep.
They were on my website, $39.99 for 2 weeks. Put them on eBay.
$39.99.
Yeah, if I put them on eBay for $44.99, they sold in 5 minutes.
Brother,
I'm like, why am I even bothering? Like, why am I even keeping it there for? Like, I waste for 2 weeks because that money can go right back to Distro, and that's what I'm gonna start doing because if I make the content, I'll do the best I can, but 24 hours, 48 hours, it's sitting, it's going to eBay. I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I don't care. Like, the goal is to build English allocation as fast as possible, and prepare like and hope that we can get some more. And that's that's the goal of the store, because I don't want to deal with the people anymore, and the Sam's Clubs and the things like that. It's not worth my time.
Dude, like it's funny. Like I saw a DJ like he posted on his story that he was at Sam's Club, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? like,
He shouldn't be at Sam's. Like
like
again,
come on.
like he can be at Sam's Club, but does he need to be at Sam's Club?
No.
You know,
I don't know. Maybe it's for his kids.
like I'm at a
For his
point where
kids,
I
but
don't need to be at Sam's Club, and I don't need to get the product at Sam's Club. Plus, I go to work 5 days a week in the city, so like I can't get to Sam's Club.
yeah, like I have a local guy that buys from me, and he likes to talk, about the market and things like that every now and then, and he'll text me like, dude, there's a there's something going on at CVS. You got to be there in the morning. You might get you might get an Ascended Heroes mini tin display, and I'm just like, good luck. I'm not doing that. like,
the state of the YouTube market, and basically like what vending has created, what investing has created, is now when Pokemon makes a set, like let's say the market cools down, right? Like let's say we get a cool down period, and then let's just say Prismatic Evolutions was coming back out, as and it was never listed, right? And then Prismatic comes out. There's so many people here now that will say, that are educated on what a good set looks like, that they'll go in and scalp it, and pile into the to that set. You know, because again, when you look at the basket of things, like I heard somebody yesterday, I won't say it, bashing Perfect Order. I've been buying Perfect Order because I'm a Pokemon store and it's long term
yep,
inventory. And they're bashing Perfect Order. They're bashing it because it doesn't go up. But if you look at Battle Styles, which is the worst set, in my opinion, that Pokemon's ever made, it's like one of
yep,
the absolute worst. I can't stand it. I don't like it at all. That's like a $300 box.
right.
So in 5 years, it's up 200%. That's fucking great. And people are like, it's Battle Styles. Like 200% in 5 years isn't enough for you. Like that's how disconnected we've become. And it's part of the reason that I was in panic mode last year selling it, because like I'm like, this was never supposed to happen, and like I can't believe it's happening, and I've seen it crash. Like I feel like this went on too long. Like I remember
Yeah.
like the COVID boom was like 6 months. I'm like,
Yep.
I got to start selling. I got to sell. If I probably didn't start selling until now, I probably would have like triple the money I had.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. Like the 151 Pokemon Center UPCs, Pokemon Centers, I sold those for like 400, 500. They're like 1600, 1500 a
They're
box.
crazy. I know.
I had a case of them. I had a
I
case of them.
know.
So I sold the boxes for 450 each on eBay. Is that like a $6,000 case?
It's got to be,
Like so
right?
that
Like,
that's what you're dealing with. But like, how are you supposed to know, like that? Like I was just like, this is crazy. Like I'm gonna have money for a business, and I sat down with my wife, and I'm like, we're gonna have capital. It's totally separate from our life, like that we can, add to this. I can put the kids on the payroll. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Little did she know that I'd be working till 1 in the morning. Like she
right,
didn't
yeah.
expect that, but
This is a
you know,
separate job that I'm doing.
yeah, like and again, like I don't start till 9:30 at night, so you know, like I didn't do orders tonight because we're talking. Like I'll do them tomorrow. But
How,
I got 14 orders across eBay and TCG Player to do, the next 2 days. So, that takes what, an hour and a half?
yeah.
And then you're supposed to make content. I'd rather take the extra half hour and put more stuff on eBay, and just get there as fast as possible and try to do that, because I have to totally reverse engineer. Like I have to hire somebody. I have to get somebody in here to edit my videos and actually help me. Like I'm to that point on YouTube.
Do you think you'd make that?
Even like when I hook up the microphone, like CapCut microphone, it pops on YouTube, and I have no idea how to fix it. And I'm like, okay, I'll use Clipchamp. Clipchamp looks stupid. I look like a little square, like in the bottom.
Yeah.
There, whatever.
Oh my god, dude.
It's fine, man. All right, I have to go pick up my daughter in a little bit.
Yeah, sounds good, man. We've been chatting for 2 hours. Thanks for hopping on, though.
Yeah, I need to get. So, are you using StreamYard? You're not using StreamYard.
No, so we're on Video Ninja.
Okay.
It's like a
You
free.
know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring up us on YouTube. I want to see what it looks like because I don't
Oh
really
yeah,
know.
you've just been looking at
Yo,
looking
so
at me.
just so you know, I know you sent the link. Nobody knows I'm on YouTube. Like my friends and family don't know. My
Really,
wife doesn't even know. My wife doesn't
really.
even know. Yeah, no. Like she like
What did you think
she
you're
was
doing
like
right now? Just like on a call?
I told her I had to have a Pokemon business talk with somebody. Um,
Yeah.
but like yeah, like nobody knows I'm doing this, and I was gonna wait till I get to 1,000 to share it. But I've kind of been halted at like 950 for like a
Dude,
week
you're
or two
right
now.
there.
I usually get like 25 a month. I stopped the shorts. That's why, dude. It's not like I'm trying to get viewers. Like I don't want short term people. Like because I did like you'd be surprised if you do like how to videos, like how to ship things, and like
Oh,
people
I
will
believe
follow
it.
you. So like I did a how to ship a like a single card on TCG Player, and I did a graded guard display because people put graded guards on backwards. And those two shorts are like 450 followers from mine, and they don't watch any long form videos, and they don't buy shit. So
Right.
like it's like it doesn't like so like if somebody's coming across a channel like he's got 951 followers, I'm like I got fucking nobody.
Yeah. Well, that's what I feel like with like, like I have 20 almost 27,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. But
How
you'll
many of
be
them are
there. You'll
actually
do
doing
good. Your
anything?
videos are good. All right, I have to hop. I'm gonna go get her. This was
All right.
awesome.
Yeah, thanks for doing this,
I'm
man.
happy I did this. I'm happy I did this. I opened up my
Congrats to you
old
for hopping on
uncle
and
ass for doing it, and maybe I'll try to figure it out on my own. But
yeah, dude, you got to do
I
it on
like this.
yours.
I like this a lot better than talking into the video. I like talking like people, and your personality could come out like
Right.
a little more. You know.
Don't have to come up with some arbitrary idea and topic to,
Yeah. See, like my
shove down
wife just
people's
came in.
throat.
She's yelling at me. She's yelling at me now. All right, I'm gonna
All
roll,
right.
buddy.
Sounds good, man. Take it
Awesome
here.
talk. I appreciate you, dude.
All right, you
We'll
too, man.
chat this
Thanks for
week.
everyone for hanging out. I will catch you guys in the next one. See you.
All right, later, bud.
See you, dude.